It was over, and he told me they came in his trucks, and they just took him, and they lynched him. And the man asked him, when was this? It's like the 50s, like 50s. No, it's like, what was it? I think it was like 1978. He looked and was like, but I thought lynching was banned in the 60s. Like, the old man, they never knew that lynching was banned because it was so rural of a town that like people just continued doing it, even though probably the white folks knew it was banned, but like, they just kept doing it because the black folks, they know it was illegal.
I do have a question about that. Was it really banned in the 60s? Because they just made it like illegal to like lynch, like just I think 2018.
Really?
Like yeah, they just turned.
Yeah, let's get the facts on that.
You heard about that?
The exact dates.
Okay, but yeah, like.
Jeez.
It was a whole viral thing.
What is it? The anti-lynching bill?
The dire anti-lynching bill was introduced in 1918 from a Republican senator in Missouri in the House of Representatives. It was intended to establish lynching as a federal crime. Did not pass. It was reintroduced in 1922, but was halted by the Senate by a filibuster by Southern Democrats who formed a powerful bloc that exceeded the percentage of their population by having disenfranchised blacks in the South. Tried again in 1934, again halted by the same filibuster, and 2018 was by the time it actually passed unanimously.
Wow.
Wait, say that last part again?
Unanimously was passed in 2018.
Yeah, 2018,
So
2018.
nothing halted it. It passed. Everyone voted yes.
So lynching was still actually legal until 2018.
That's what drove me crazy. I was like, dang.
And was that nationwide, John?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, nationwide. It can't be just any states now. They're going to be under fire. Whoever is...
Well, yeah.
It has not passed the House of Representatives or have been signed by the president.
Interesting.
And that's embarrassing.
Probably because of the shutdowns, the unanimous shutdowns that have happened, I would assume. Because according to this, it was late 2018 that it passed, and it finally reached the House of Representatives January 26th, which is right when the government reopened.
Opie, where did you hear that story about the man that got lynched in 1978? Somebody told you about it, or?
No, it was a video on YouTube. Let me see.
Did you guys hear about Jussie Smollett story?
The dude in that from Empire?
Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
No comment from me.
I
haven't seen it. So
I don't know the facts yet, and I don't really trust Chicago PD, so
that's really understandable.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that like everyone was behind him 100% and supportive, and like all social media, like all the celebrities, they were all like.
I really don't trust social media as a justice system.
No, I mean like they were having the conversation of condoning like such acts and stuff like that. Because I feel like after Trump became president, people just started acting out, and
people started
felt
acting
like
out
more comfortable acting out and doing stupid things and getting away with it.
You got a stupid president, you play a stupid game. Trump's an idiot. I felt like he hasn't done everything that everyone hated him for, because he hasn't really done anything since he came in office that everyone's openly hated. Actually, one of the best things that I think he ever did was he upgraded Martin Luther King's birthplace from a national monument to a national park. So it gets more funding and it gets taken care of better than a national monument would, or whatever. It's whatever one below it. I don't remember exactly how that entire system is set up, but that was probably the best thing that he's done. That's actually a really small thing in hindsight. Getting arrested for it.
It's crazy.
But it still doesn't explain why it was never illegalized.
You're talking about lynching?
Yeah. Isn't it weird that there's just certain words that just like are towards black people, like identify towards like black people? That's crazy. And then most of that is just a negative term or like lynching. Like you would automatically imagine, it's being done to a black person.
So
you never like.
So lynching got nationally, now it's against the law, right?
Yeah.
It's not against the law.
No. It's reached the House of Representatives, so now it has to pass the House of Representatives and then be signed by the president.
And this has been passed during Trump time, not during Obama's time.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is.
I do not believe, after looking back at President Obama's legacy, I have never seen such a hypocrite in my life. Because he did also pass a law, President Obama. He passed the healthcare reform bill, which made it illegal to not have healthcare, right? What vulnerable populations don't have healthcare, and now they get to go to jail or get a whole bunch more fines?
Black people.
Black people. I think that was very hypocritical of him when he says he wants to bring people together, and end the war on drugs and end all the crimes and the criminalization of black people by passing a law that makes it illegal to not have health care. And people who can't afford health care, can't get to the jobs that they have that provide health care because of their skin color. Now they have to
can't get to the bag.
Submit to the Obamacare, which is very shitty in its own right, and continually increasing healthcare prices, which separates them even more. I think it was very hypocritical of him to do that.
But you know what it did in the same way? It pushed employers to find a way to provide health care.
And it also increased the amount of money that it required for health care. Because my mom used to pay $900 a month for family health care. Now it's like $2,000 a month for family health care. Because Obamacare is now an option.
Wait, aren't the prices based on
Your income.
No.
Obamacare
is yours?
Is based on income.
Do you is yours?
Let
me.
To where it sets a certain amount. It doesn't give the insurance or the insurance company to set their own price. They have to go within the government's guidelines, so that they cannot jack up the prices to where they can get money more. Like you just said with the insulin, they realize they can make money out of it, so they raise up the prices. If it's in their hands, their goal is to profit. So for them to profit, they're gonna jack the prices. But if it's under the government's control, it can only be set to a certain amount, and you can still get those same services within that, just like Canada is doing. Like
Canada's situation is very different because they're not dealing with a $22 trillion deficit. They're dealing with a surplus in their government.
Honestly, if we come to the truth, the only thing, the people that the Obamacare hurts more is middle-class Americans.
Middle class and lower class.
It hurts more of the middle class than it does lower class.
How does it, if you have a lower class person that can't afford anything and they can't sign up for it, because you still have to pay for Obamacare.
Okay, but then you still have, for there to be a law for you to have, health care, the government has to provide, if you cannot afford health care, the government has to provide health care for those who cannot provide health care. And also the companies that do employ those people were pushed to now, they hurt when it comes to profit, because now they got to use whatever money they're getting out of profit to provide their employees with health care. So it's pushing the companies to provide health care for their employees who work lower class, and also for those who are not working, for the government to provide health care for them more. But then it hurts middle class, because then middle class have to have health insurance, and so they have to go with the guidelines, and those who do have businesses cannot profit as much out of it, because then whatever money that they profit out of, they have to cut that and have to provide health care for those who work for them.
So long as we're making decisions and we're moving around and we're all having a conversation about it, then we're going to eventually be on the right path.
Yes, I agree with that.
We'll see more surpluses coming. We'll see, we'll see the country improving, the poverty going down. But what we're doing is basically not really doing nothing, and everybody is sort of taking that into consideration and taking advantage of it. Like, as far as private corporations and shit like that, I'm pretty sure if government give out Medicare and shit, I'm pretty sure that hospitals are not going to be able to fucking afford the expensive insulins. They'll go to the cheapest, so that will create a certain source of demand, because they're not, the only reason why they're jacking it up to begin with is because they can, and they're going to do it so long as they can. But if something comes in between and sort of, demands them to change, they're going to have to adapt to it. They're going to, at the end of the day, it's about business, it's about eating. So they're going to do what they need to do in order to stay afloat or to stay running. So that will create the same shit that we're going through as middle class or lower class, because we're doing whatever the fuck we need to feed ourselves. So in that situation, people smarten up. You know, they get less greedy. They look about. They think about the environment. They think about themselves. They think about the country in general. But right now, everybody greedy. Everybody greedy. Everybody want to freelance. Everybody want to make money. So
fully support everything. We need to get the people that are getting paid by these big pharmaceutical companies out of Congress, first off.
Yeah, they're doing that actually.
So they can start making correct laws and they can start regulating healthcare, which I'm for regulation of healthcare, because making healthcare absolutely ridiculous for everybody is stupid. If we can get healthcare from its very expensiveness down back to its normal stuff where it's actually manageable. I like what South Dakota did and the releasing of all of the services. If you go to a hospital, you can actually go online now or go to the website of either Rivera or Sanford and find out the price of what your operation or what your thing will cost. Because they released that and that's now a law.
They didn't used to do that, yeah.
No, they didn't used to do that, but now you know that they're not just going to pull numbers out of a hat. Okay, we did leg surgery on you. Okay, let's put in here $30,000.
I want to hear a funny story. Ding had went to a hospital. He had a really bad headache, and then like a few weeks later, he got the bill, and it was almost like how many thousands. And he came to the hospital like upset, like I demand to speak with whoever's in charge because y'all didn't do anything to me. The doctor didn't. All they did was check his temperature. They checked his blood pressure, and then told him to go buy Tylenol. But then they charged him like so much, and he's like, this services does not equate to the price that you're. He's like, I'm not paying it. Good luck. He put the paper right there, and then he just walked off. He's like, good luck. If you find someone else that can pay this for you, I am not paying it. You guys send it to the collection agency. Do whatever you got to do. I'm not paying it. So it's kind of nice to.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's absolutely absurd with these prices that they put on there. But now that they have the prices out there, they can't just throw numbers out there and be like, hey, what's this much? It's like, okay, they have to set numbers.
Honestly,
now.
That's what I feel like they do. They just do the smallest things and just throw, hey, let's charge them
$5,000.
Yeah.
It's crazy because they know, like, when people get hit with a bill, like 9 out of 10 times people just pay the bill.
Yeah.
There's only like 10% of people that might question.
But something that Professor Hartman said a long time, is it Hartman or somebody said, they said that it's good that when you do get your bill, if you know what you're doing, that you speak to the people that work for the hospital, the financial people.
Yeah.
Like if you know what you're doing, you can ask them exactly like how much did this charge or why is this charge this. And then she said like when she negotiated with them, her price was able to be brought down because of some kind of misunderstanding or some kind.
You can negotiate your hospital bill?
Well, not negotiate, but I think
Oh wait, hold on.
It was something along that line. Like she was referring to another doctor or something, and then the bill came and it was ridiculous, and she had questioned them. Like I don't know if it was a story that she said someone else or with her, but she said her price ended up being changed because of her like knowing what she was talking about or something. I don't know.
You know, the money's about to be up. They'll be like, hey, listen, man, forget all that shit, man.
Forget the conversation we had earlier. I need some money.
You know, can you send it? Just send it real quick, man. You know what
we don't have anything to eat tomorrow. We're struggling, and the kids, as always,
somebody dying. The kids going.
The kids are like, they know that's. Yeah,
or somebody's
always asking about the kids, you know. You care about the kids, so they're gonna be like, hey, how, you know what I'm saying? So and so, you know, needs a little bit of cash for school. They're about
to get kicked out of school.
The worst one, right? When the kids, right?
Yeah.
They like. In Africa, like hospital is cheaper than here, right?
Yes.
But they'd be like,
significant.
They'd be like, Johnny's in the hospital. They need $12,000. I'd be like, $12,000 for Africa.
Right. That's more in America. That's more than it costs in America.
Yeah, I feel like even America would pay that. Right. They'd be like, we need it. But like the worst, like in Liberia, the most popular holiday, like New Year's Day. Oh my. And yeah, here, look, when
all for them to buy clothes for the party.
Yeah. For us, when it's New Year's Day, July 1st, our phones are off.
What's the independence or like what's
the
New Year's Day or whatever?
Independence Day?
Yeah,
Independence
New Year's
Day.
Yeah, New Year's Day. New Year's Day is January 1st, like normal.
Okay.
It's normal. But like New Year's Day, Valentine's Day.
Hey, you gonna go spend a whole bunch of money on your girl? You just send that money to me.
No, no girls. They go to the club.
And then they dress up so nicely. That's the funny thing, like they dress up so nicely, like
my brother, look, here to get Gucci is hard. My brother,
I know. Swear to God.
If you're on Facebook and Instagram wearing nice Gucci shoes, Gucci clothes, I'm like, how do you get these clothes?
Real shit. I swear to God.
and they're cheaper over there too. Like 200 can get you like a lot of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Like 200 is a lot for us here, but then I mean it's not that much for us here, but for them over there they can get a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's like $2,000.
Damn. Yo, you said it's like talking to somebody in prison. Like at the end of the call, it's like, you know, forget everything I said. Like, I really called you because I need $70 for this jacket. Dang. They never been.
Nah.
So like, but they just kind of guilt trip you, or?
No.
That's exactly what it is because like.
Wait, do you experience this too?
Be
My
like,
grandma does all the time.
Oh, so yeah, it's not just all right. Yeah.
And if they don't do it, they get mad at you so bad for the next call. They're like all mad and everything's like, you didn't do this last time. Why can't you do it this time?
Yes.
Oh,
And it makes sense because they'd be like, look, man, I've been walking for like a week, you know what I'm saying? I can barely walk, I can barely feel my legs, you feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, come on, bro, you're not gonna make me walk no more, man. You can walk me out with this.
Dang.
It's up to you,
I need to get that segue, man.
It's up to you.
I was gonna say the reason it makes it so difficult is because we've been there and we know the struggle, so we feel bad like not helping.
Like that walk is nowhere.
Not anymore. She gets all stubborn with them and everything.
Right.
And they're like, first call, they're all sweet. The next call, they're like, no. They're all mean and all that stuff. And I'm like, nope.
You lucky. My uncles, my cousin, uncles, they should do first, right? First they call, right? And if we say no, it goes to the main person. It goes to my grandma. My grandma.
Oh, they send it down the line.
And if the grandma calls, you can't say no. If you say no, it's over for you.
Well, but look at if you do say yeah and then you send it, you don't get any calls from anybody else, right?
No,
That's it.
They're gonna use, some of them will use it. Oh, so that's how you feel. You're only closer to this family member.
For real?
You send them and you forgot about me.
Damn.
And it's like.
And the story gets sadder. By the time it gets to grandma, bro, you crying. You bawling, bro. You like, if you can take it, like, if you can handle that grandma talk, man, but she gonna tell you from like your daddy, she's like, bro.
You used to change your parents' diaper, the way she struggled walking around, all these things. If it wasn't for me, it would have been boring. Like,
Grandma's like that ace. How much you want, ace in the hole. You know what I mean?
So it's like pull out the grandma card. He said no. So.
She's well experienced, bro.
And she's the one
Bring grandma here. You remove that part.
Well experienced.
Move grandma over here.
Dang.
No, my grandma's here. That's why she can be stubborn with me. She's like, you can't do this. I'm your sister. I'm your grandma and all that stuff.
Even here,
Damn.
it wouldn't be so different.
Yeah.
No, but they still
Like
ask
you feel more responsible. Like you want to take them places.
Mhm.
You know, they can't just stay in the house. They can't like.
I guess this is where it's like a privilege to be white because I just don't talk to my cousins or aunts.
Man, what you
Oh,
mean?
no.
That's why they say.
At the age of 18, y'all leave the house, and then when they get older, y'all send them to nursing homes, man.
That's why they always say, like, don't be like them Americans.
I didn't say like that.
You cannot do that at all.
They always tell
Like,
us,
you live with
bro,
them,
don't be
or
like
you
those
live
Americans.
close
They're
to
heartless.
you.
They
They
don't.
just walk
They don't
5
like
minutes
take
and
care of
see
their family
family.
and stuff like
You
that.
see
We're
family
supposed to be
right
like a
there.
close knit
Yes,
family, taking
yes.
care of each
If
other.
you
and
buy
stuff.
a house, the better pay.
Yes, that's right.
All right. So no, but that's a good point though. If you think about it, go to visit like nursing homes. It's not that many blacks in there,
Oh hell no.
right? Because it's like you don't saying, yeah, you keep grandma in the house, like
yeah.
No,
you
my
know.
boyfriend has the same thing because his grandma lives downstairs with him. Like they have a separate room for her.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, as soon as you grow old, you usually live with your
Yeah.
grandparents or your
Yeah.
kids. And then like because he works at Good Samaritan now, he's like, there's no Hispanics, there's no any other race other than like white. And he's like,
That's
it's
why they
so
tell us all
sad
the time.
because when parents visit or like when family visits, nobody really visits other than like one or two. And he's like, it's so saddening. But like I don't know. It's just
Yeah, no.
Imagine like you old as
How do you
well.
think I would feel if I lived with my grandma?
John.
Your grandma is very interesting, though.
My grandma's very racist.
I kind of picked up those vibes. Yeah, at the funeral. It was at the funeral.
What happened?
My grandmother is very... Okay, my grandmother is like the textbook definition of a bitch.
Well,
And they went to my grandmother's house and they bought a car, an old car that she had sitting in the back. And she's sitting in a lawn chair and they're trying, it's like a 90-degree day, humidity's like 100%, and they're trying to pull the tin off this building so they can get out the car because it's not running and they can't drive it out. So my grandmother is sitting there, is like, you want some water? Yeah, we would love some water. Well, too bad I don't have any. On national television.
Is it on TV?
On TV. My grandmother says that I'm just like,
to go viral.
Grandma, you can't do that. Like, back when my buddy, one of my best friends in Humo would visit me and my grandma would be there, she would start calling him a little N-word boy. And I was like, you can't say that anymore, Grandma. And she's just like, oh, it's fine. He's okay with it. I was like, no, it's not okay.
One of my friends, Levi, his grandparents, like
Levi Harrington?
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to tell us
I've
the story
never
and how
met
we
the
almost
family.
got shot this weekend?
What?
What?
Levi Hofschild is a different one.
Tell us the story of how we almost got shot this
Wait.
weekend.
I heard gunshots downtown.
was that has something to do with you?
What's up?
Wait, that has something to do with Shayla?
That, no.
I was being a smarty pants with the wrong person.
And they started shooting at you?
No, he said he had a gun in the car.
You saw it?
No.
Oh.
I wasn't trying to go there with him. What happened? I said, I'm sorry. Like,
What?
But you got smart with him and you was like,
What'd you say that triggered him?
He got shooting people?
No.
And he triggered?
No. Like I'm
He
saying, like,
hold on, MJ, hold on.
he said, I'm ugly. I know I don't. He's like, nobody wants me. I'm ugly. I said, you sure is ugly. But I was just kidding. Dang.
I didn't even hear
You-
this. I was
you-
so
Say that.
You sure is ugly. What's that, from The Color Purple? You sure?
That's true. But anyways, he got triggered because I said she had a boyfriend.
He was so what?
He got you.
Remember when he was staring at you and I said she has a boyfriend and then he got mad. He's like, you don't want none of this. You don't.
No, and then he looks at me, he goes, you're beautiful, and I go, thanks, so are you. And then I just looked down, and then ever since then we're fine. But then your one friend tried to get in his face.
Brea.
Oh,
You
Lord.
want this?
I'm literally.
And Brea's like 4'8".
Yeah, and she's like,
But
I grew up in a city. I know how.
But
it
she's
is."
tough. She's tough.
And I'm just like, jeez, you're teeny. What are you doing?
Like, you don't see my gun? I got something in the car. I could go get it right now. And we're all like, oh my gosh, Brea, just let it go.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you don't want none of this.
And then they're all sitting over there at the table going, just staring at her while she's like, yeah, let's go. And we're all like,
She was going, oh my
Like,
god, she was.
releasing like people's like inner feelings and stuff. Cause like
The rest, is it the food or is it just the environment? They just
maybe the bright colors make them like feel bold or something.
endorphins just going.
What's my friends, right? Cause like at the high school football game, right? We all are there. Well, first we go there when we leave and come back because I know we don't want to eat again. But we get there, right? And like, oh my, it's like inside a place, right? It gets intense. They're arguing about this and that. They're like, no, let's take it outside, right? I was like, come on, let's not do that because I hate that phrase, take it outside. I was like, I'm not gonna follow y'all. I'm gonna eat my food, right? I was like, you know what? Let me be smart. Let me see how far it goes. I go out there, right? Open the door. First thing I see.
Oh.
You got hit?
No, I did.
Oh, I thought you saying
Come on now, huh?
you got clocked. Dang.
So why can't you just get? Come on, man. I closed the door real quick. I said I gotta go back.
Didn't he get upset too? Because he's like, I don't know what he was talking about, but he's like, I don't want to offend you or whatever because we're black and you're white. or something.
Yeah, he's like, I'm from New York.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to intimidate you. I don't want to.
This is the gun guy?
Yeah.
And I literally looked at him. I said, shake my hand.
Shake my J Black 1615.
She's trying to survive.
Shake my hand, young sir.
And I was like, Regina, we got this. We're sociologists, remember?
Yeah. Oh, but this is was it covert or? Yeah, but that's not observational sociology. You were in there thing. Participant. You was a participant.
I was joking with him. He like took me so serious. He was ready to go to his car and get that gun out.
He was so upset at you, and I didn't fully hear what you were saying, but I was like, she can't listen to that.
Shake my hand.
Don't be called ugly.
Brea was just like doing the Brea. Oh my gosh, you had to be like, I'm just like, that's very ignorant. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Doesn't matter.
So you should have to, or you should not?
You should have to get a background check to concealed carry in South Dakota.
And because it's only $10,
right?
right?
The fact that it's an open carry state.
California is $5.
500.
500.
Yes.
And then here it's how much?
And then they can, after you pay the 500, they can still say no.
How much is it here?
$10.
Interesting.
Hey,
that's a big difference.
They don't care here. Like, I'm scared for like the kids from like the royal kids, like kids living in the countryside.
The royal kid, the wealthy kid. Those posh motherfuckers. The royals. Right. They can trace their roots back to the monarchs, to the monarchy.
One night, right, some friend of mine, right, because like we're talking to this one girl, and she's like, she had a party. It was like, where was it? It was some, I don't know, like 10 mile small town, like west of here, right? And we pull up there, right? It was cool at first, you know, people I recognize. We get there, it's like getting later and later. Next thing I hear, bro, I'm not playing with you. I see this kid, people rushing in, like typical, I don't know, I don't. Like rednecks, cause like they're wearing the hat, their boots, and like they're coming in with like the Budweiser. The kid, I was like, yo, it's about to be a crazy night. And like you know, the scary part, right, is like the girl's bathroom was broken, right? So like to pee, you have to walk, basically go to cause like a rural area, so it goes like the rural park, the farm, under the trees and stuff, right? So I went out there to pee. I come back, this dude has a truck open, right? What I seen there? I seen like a big gun.
Oh, a shotgun? Like
almost like war. Yeah, I think it was like a war-sized gun.
Like a war.
That's you're very destructive. They're all the same size.
Wait, it had the clip? It had the clip?
Yeah, because like it's like the bed of the truck, right?
Yeah.
Sitting there, I was like,
a war-sized gun. I got a gun so big.
But like if you ain't getting some, somebody getting some.
But it gets crazier too, right? You know, these kids are getting drunk and rowdy, right? The kids say, you know what, the typical, meet me outside, so they go outside.
Oh,
I want to see this, right?
Not me.
That's why it's go outside.
That's some dangerous shit right there.
The dude has like a holster for his gun, literally right next to him, and like he's just holding it. I was like, bro, come on. I was like, Levi, we gotta go. And then Levi was like, no, he's not gonna shoot. I was like, bro, they're drunk. There's a dude with a big gun in his truck.
Right. He got a bazooka. Shit.
I seen this movie.
He got the old cannons that they have on forts. Like just you gotta light it.
He's got mobile cannonry in the back of his truck, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's gonna shoot cannonballs at us when we leave.
I'm scared for these white kids. They're allowed to walk around with these guns.
I'm scared of like high schoolers.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like
100% against concealed carry on school properties. Guns should have no absolute.
But did they pass that where like teachers can have guns now? Or?
Anyone can carry guns in school.
Anyone can carry guns.
I know, but it was a big thing about having teachers that have guns. So
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
anyone can carry.
Oh, nah, it's gonna be rats. Some crazy white kids.
And you know what's crazy? A black kid, I don't think he'll ever bring a gun to school.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, let alone try to have a gun on him.
I think
They will physically fight, but it wouldn't get to a point.
I
And
think
if they
it
shot
depends
someone,
on
it's
the
just whoever you're
circumstance.
fighting with.
it's not like the whole school. It's like if he bring it to school, it's like he got beef with a couple people, not just randoms.
The whole school, shooting the whole school.
In high school, I knew the.
I don't know. I think it has to be the right circumstances. I just don't think those circumstances have been met to make it to where you de-escalate.
No, hold on. And all in high school, look, my freshman year, one of the kids in my we had ad rooms, right? My ad room, there's one kid. What was it? No, Chris. Kind of name. Ashton was my homie. Yo, Ashton got kicked out of the school because the dude had a Glock, and it's not my way, right? It's like he's in the bathroom with it for hours. He's in the bathroom for hours. I was like.